Hello, everybody. We're going to give it some time for people to come in. We are back at it with another live today. Woo, woo, what? Multiple lives. This one is not about divination. However, this is with spoken word, and I'm so excited to have a lovely guest with us. And so there he goes. He is on and ready. He goes by John Michael Poetry, and so I'm going to bring him on. Let's see. I accepted your request. Just going to allow for that Vihistara throat chakra activations to come through. To allow you to speak your truth, know your truth. Allow communication with the Most High, Most Divine, and benevolence, in truth and righteous and perfect love and perfect trust. Be the highest and greatest voice in your frequencies, to lead you with great discernment and knowing for your highest good, your greatest path. Bringing you the strength and the courage to speak what it is that you need to speak. To sing the song of your soul. And allowing all pure channels to come through and express itself through your divinity and your existence. Ashe, Aho, Amen. We're going to try this again. There we go. So did you get that? There we go. Ashe,
Hello.
hello.
How
Welcome.
are you?
Oh, good. I am great. I am grand. I am joyful and all of that. How are you? How are you? How are you?
I'm doing great. I can't see you though.
Oh, no, you cannot.
Nope.
IG is being a bit of a butt because it's sending out, I don't even know if it's sending out my notifications or not. Hello,
Yeah.
Nature World for Life. If you are coming in here, please share the live. I think there's some delay with the IG. Do you want to like leave and come back to see if you can see me?
Yeah, let's try that real quick.
Okay, awesome. So if you're just tapping in with us, bear with us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're gonna have some spoken word, and we're gonna hear a little bit more about John Michael's journey and what led him to poetry. And so I'm really excited to have him on here. There we go. Oh, can you see me now?
No, I can't, but that's all right. We'll make it work.
Oh, good. You can hear me though, so that's all that really matters. You
That's
can see
that.
yourself?
I can see myself, which is scary.
Why is this
Huh?
scary?
I don't know. I'm just being a goofball, I guess.
All
But
righty.
I really loved your readings earlier. Um, a lot of what you've been putting out every day has been fitting like a puzzle piece into my world. And I've actually been living pretty much living in awareness of your guidance daily as of recently. And it's been a beautiful thing. So thank you very much.
Oh, the honor is mine. Thank you for honoring that and just the vessel, right? And I love, I love the fact that you have the openness to receive from the Most High more guidance and allowing yourself to expand your consciousness and the awareness to be able to even like receive guidance regardless of it being direct or not, right? Like we haven't really had too many direct conversations here and there, but just allowing yourself in that. So thank you so much for sharing that, right? And the posts that you're mostly talking about are the ones where I'm doing like my channeled writing based on the astrological
Yeah.
chart. So talking about channeled writing, right? Like you do poetry, and with that, like, is it, can you break that down to us, right? Like it's that's a form of channel writing in itself.
Yeah, it's completely subconscious. A lot of my, like, when I sit down to write, I really don't, even when I'm given a prompt, I don't have a plan. I just sit down and start writing, and whatever comes out, comes out. And then I'll try to fit the prompt into it, I guess. Um, and most of my best writing, or what I consider my best writing, usually comes to me like in the middle of the night, whether I'm still awake or I'll instantly wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. and just write something down real quick and go back to bed. And you, at that point, it's true spirit coming through the pen, like you were speaking of earlier.
Absolutely. So do you feel like it's different spirits, or this is like different versions of yourself? And you said subconscious, so
I
like
think it's definitely different versions of myself. I mean, sometimes, I'm not really sure how to answer that. It could be different spirits as well. Because I have, poetry, at least in my poetry, some of it's either straight up or it's written in riddles. And some of it I surprise myself. I'll write it out and I'll be like, holy shit, it's something that's been on my mind, but I didn't know how to work it out, and it just told me the answer. I answer my own questions a lot in my poems. I think a lot of poets do. Um, I think that's the reason we write mostly, as a coping mechanism, as a way to work things out. I know for me, I've got some mental health issues, bipolar or whatever, ADHD. My mind constantly spins. So I started writing at 11 years old as a coping mechanism, a way to just clear my thoughts out of my head at night, whether it made sense or not. Um, and I could never just sit down and try to write a poem because it always sucked. It was forced. It would have to come to me. Now I can pretty much sit down and bam, something comes out of me. I mean, yesterday at work, for example, I busted out like 6 different pieces. It was just flowing through me yesterday. So it's very interesting how it works. And it's, most of the time, you think you're writing about somebody else, and you're actually writing about yourself. There's more of a message for yourself in it than others. Um, but I'm happy that people can relate with my poetry and know that they're not alone going through the same stuff that I go through. That we all go through, actually.
Mhm. So when you first started doing the poetry, were you already in the awareness of like the quote unquote the diagnosis, or did
No, no, not at all. I was just a lot had happened in my life at a young age, and it really sent me on a far left path, to where I got into a lot of trouble. I got into a lot of different things. The area that I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, so the a lot happens up there, you know, and there was a lot of bad things, and through getting in trouble a lot, I was almost awarded to the state. Fortunately enough, I wasn't, and they assigned me a counselor, and she was the one that convinced me to start writing. It wasn't, and that was right around maybe the age of 11 that I started writing. I think it was maybe my early 20s when I got diagnosed. So yeah, I've always written just as a way of working things out in my head, you know, because like I said, it just, things spin so fast, and I know for me, if I don't stay occupied, if I don't keep myself busy, you know, my mind can go to some pretty wild places, and you know, I can spin out really quick, trying to analyze every single moment that's gone by, you know, if that makes any sense.
No. Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense actually, and thank you for your transparency and even like sharing about that with your journey. So like you mentioned yesterday about like all this creative flow coming through you with like words, and I would like for us to be able to share some of your poems. So if you would like, maybe we could do a poem and then answer a few other questions and then go back to
Yeah.
another poem. All right, cool. So I would love to hear at least one of the poems that you wrote yesterday. If you want to share any of those.
Yeah, let me find one from yesterday. I also got another one that I really want to share with you.
Okay, go for it. It doesn't have to be
Here,
from yesterday, whatever you feel
yeah,
called.
this one here is called "Sincerely Yours." And I'll just read it, and then we can talk about it afterwards. I've given so much of myself away, anything and everything, not asking for one thing to this day, just that you say, hey, I remember that I'm always here when you need an ear, a heart that's sincere. You know, I've given up selling dope, got myself clean, decided to deal hope. Wait, where'd you go? You disappear? Did I do something? Or is it just my fear? For fear rings throughout the night. The past foretells doubt. Crossroads, the line that shadows tout. Delivery of pain, and damn it, can you just concentrate? Let it resonate? For one moment, just get your thoughts straight? Just come on back to where this started. Before or after the brokenhearted? There you go again, dude. Can we just let it go? Take things slow. Whatever's meant for me and its meant time will be. Did you forget about the mind games? The feelings they played? Not to mention any names. Did you forget all you did? Not one word they hid. The others they talk shit, just hoping you throw a fit. No, dude, no, I didn't forget. I forgave. For my own soul to save. What's in the past can stay. Just let go, man, it's a brand new day. In darkness we hold tight to never lose sight. For damage you caused me, I will see and feel always. Man, whatever, dude. You're like an ice luge, pouring your cold fear down my throat. You're nothing but a fucking scapegoat. All your misery and self-doubt, just let me be me. I want to walk about, dude, set me free. For freedom of self can never be, man, enough. How about to be free, to finally see, not with eyes, but deep inside, past the scars, the prisons, the bars, for forgiveness of others and self erases any self-doubt. Whoa, hold on. What's all this I hear? When I found you, you were full of fear, all sitting in a corner scared. I'm the one that picked you up and dusted you off. Whoa, settle down. First off, it was you I created. I didn't know you would turn out to be sadistic and jaded. I'm ready to live again. Pick up the pieces and begin. Obviously, you don't want to move on. So now I have to leave you, dude. I'm gone. I'm not scared anymore. I release you. so I can live and have more. Dude, there's a window and a door. To release thyself is to live into, dude, I'm done. Pack your bags, be gone. But before you go, I have to say thank you. It was you that got me here. I'm being sincere and I'm grateful. But let's be clear. Here's a one-way ticket out of my mind. With this one last tear, take your fear. I don't need you. Goodbye. Sincerely yours, John Michael. Home.
Snap your fingers, snap your fingers, put some emojis. That was so powerful. Ooh, that is what we call like shadow work, essentially, and like transmuting, transforming, well, transmuting and rebuking energies, but also like forgiveness and like the gratitude, the thank you. So, like, around what was that? Did you write that yesterday, or when did you
I
write that
wrote
piece?
that. I wrote that a couple weeks ago. I've been going. All right. So about 8 years ago, I started this spiritual journey where I had to figure out what went wrong. You know, I started out a street kid, and did a lot of wild shit, and then had a kid and straightened my life out, and got into a real job and cleaned myself up, got sober, and worked my ass off, and eventually I was a vice president of operations. And I was a kid with no education. I dropped out of school in the 8th grade, and I made it so far in life to have lost it all. And not only did I lose it, I gained it back, to lose it all again and lose my marriage, to gain it all back again and lost it all for a third time. And wound up in a place where I was sitting there saying, what the hell happened? How did I get here? And I started going back through all the moments of my life, trying to figure it all out. And I'd say the last 2 years of my life, I went through a traumatic experience where it seemed like every trauma of my past hit me all at once, and I was completely dead inside. I wasn't going to kill myself, but if the good Lord wanted to take me, I was ready to go. I can remember calling a friend of mine really early one morning, bawling my eyes out, saying something inside me was broken and I didn't know how to fix it. And that was the first time in my life I ever felt like that. And it was horrifying. I did not know what to do. And so over the past 2 years, I've really done a whole lot of work, on myself. I took 2 years off of work. I traveled across the country by myself, just to get away from everybody, and really have that windshield time to do a lot of reflecting, and learn a lot about what makes me me. And the last month, I would say a lot has changed, to the point where I'm starting to believe. Well, I am believing in myself again. I know I can do this. I'm not dead inside. I have one last fight left in me. And this piece here was kind of, me telling the other me, like, hey, listen, enough's enough. Goodbye. Like, I can't do this no more. The past is the past. I let it go. I've forgiven myself for it. It's time to move on. The chapters are all closed out now. Now it's time to open up new chapters and live again. So that's kind of what that piece is about.
Wow, and so powerful. You know what it is to go through the roller coasters of life, right? Like, to lose it all, gain it back, and probably even better or more than before than the last time, and
Mhm.
lose it again and go through it up again. And like, so many people give up the first time that they lose it all, that they don't know how to find a way back up, right? They don't know, they don't give themselves the permission to
No,
experience
and
greater again.
it always blew my mind because and this goes back to like my one track mind of thinking back in the day. Because I knew people that had experienced some trauma, and they were kind of dead to the world, and they just couldn't do it. And I could never understand it back then. I was like, "What do you mean? I've been through so much, and I still keep moving forward. I don't get it." And it took that one moment a couple years ago that actually just leveled me till I could finally understand that what that felt like, because there were days where all I could do was just breathe. I couldn't speak a word. I couldn't leave my bed some days. It was just, it took everything just to breathe.
Mhm.
And then I started to realize that, we all don't think alike, and everybody perceives everything so differently. And, a lot of my friends that were trying to help me out, they couldn't understand what I was going through. And, how could they ever understand it, unless you've been through that? It's a very difficult thing to understand.
Mhm.
Um, and it's so important to take time to try to understand people, to try to understand how their mind works, and what their experiences in life have been, because everything that we go through in life shapes us, and it completely changes our view of the world, um, in every fashion. Um, so to base assumption or judgment on anybody without knowing them, it's ludicrous. It's just, it's uncalled for, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
No, it's so powerful. I mean, everyone, you were talking and you were talking about, like, the last few weeks and months and everything. Like, I literally saw your wings like just stretching out. Like, I literally saw your wings like from, well, I know you can't see me on the screen no more, but it was like hoved in and then spread out. And I find it so powerful. And I had also been diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was younger as well, and I have been in and out of psych, and yeah, they had tried to keep me, ward state and whatnot. And I know it's very difficult to talk about those things. And even people that share the same diagnosis don't go through the same experiences, right? And so
Oh,
it's allowing ourselves to say that it's okay to think different. It's okay to feel different. I do not have to be what is this label or this diagnosis, but really allow myself to learn what what is the beauty of this madness, if you will,
exactly.
right? Like,
Exactly.
because I mean, seeing the world this is what makes us beautiful mediums, right? Being able to be, the bipolar and the wholeness of the one mind. It's like, they make it seem as if it's so wrong and bad to look at the different polarities of life. And sometimes it can feel psychotic. It can feel overwhelming because you're seeing things from so many different angles that a lot of people may just be
Absolutely.
seeing it from one angle or one light and one way. And the more we go through certain, like, quote unquote traumatic experiences, the more um it's like the more light and the more darkness we are exposed to and we reveal. But it's really the essence of us and our power and our divinity. So um
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that. And so, like when you were talking about this last time with like even with your marriage and you coming into this space of like relearning yourself and spreading your wings and getting back to like you feel leveled, right? You mentioned about feeling leveled. And I think that's really important for people who have never really when there's different forms of bipolar, and some are like extremely manic, some are extremely depressed, some are waves of both, right? So there's three different types of bipolar. And you know that can be difficult for a person to manage. So when I hear him saying he got to a space of being leveled, what I hear is I got to a space of comprehending when I'm moving through triggers, when I'm moving through one side to another, when I'm getting into that space of knowing, not necessarily that we got everything all figured out and that he's not going to have episodes anymore, but it's being in the awareness of, oh, I'm coming into this type of wave, so what can I do to mitigate this? Or what can I do I just allow myself to go through this process, or do I allow myself to um go to my artistry or my poetry or whatever the case may be? So that's what I hear, and I see
And
you
that's what
nodding your
works for
head.
me. That's what works for me. I've got to stay completely occupied at all times, whether it's work or, I come home from work and I paint, I write, I'm starting to make jewelry. I've got all these different
Your
things that I'm
paintings
doing
are
now.
so beautiful, by the way. Like
Thank
when you
you.
show
Thank
me your
you.
art, I'm just like, wow. Like I think that's what you call them, abstract art, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. Is that what I mean, that art, it's abstract, and I feel like I get so much channeled messages from them. Like, wow, this is so powerful.
You do,
So
and
powerful.
I paint in so many different layers, so it adds so many different dimensions. So sometimes I may have like 8 or 9 different layers. So you can put it on the wall and flip it different ways and look at it from different angles, and you can see so many different things within one painting. It's um I don't know where it comes from. It obviously it doesn't come from me.
But
um,
it comes from you, through you, from
it,
the Most
it comes
High,
through me.
like through you. It's
It,
all of it, right? Because even though you may not feel like the great grand creator of it, you're channeling, right? It's
mhm.
like channel um art, but it's still coming through you and from you, right? Like your hands are doing the movement. So I think it's beautiful, right? But um yeah, it doesn't, at the same time, it doesn't matter who we say it comes from, right? But it is to say like you're the channeler in that. And so it's okay to give yourself like yeah, it comes from source, but it
Yeah.
also comes from you. Yeah, 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 co-create together. Um do you like sell your art, or is it just something that you're doing
I'm
for
I'm
for
just starting to. I've got I just put a small collection on consignment in a store here in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm busting out paintings and trying to get into this underground artist exhibit here in Richmond. Um, that
I
will
love
go
that
from
for you.
September 6th through October 6th. And then I was just invited to an art retreat exhibit in Allentown, Pennsylvania in August. So I'm trying to figure out if I can make that work or not. And then I've got a bunch of stuff coming up with my writing that I
Hold
can't
the
disclose just yet. But there's a whole lot happening right now, and it's really truly a blessing. Like I said, I really believe in myself again. I believe I'm on the right path. I believe I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I was put here to do. Um,
Yes,
and
the vision. You will be there in August. You will be there in August. You're meant to be there. And
Yeah,
nothing or nobody can stop God's plan, right? Like the Most High
exactly,
ordained it. It's
exactly.
already done. It's already there. So I'm excited for you. So I'm trying to be mindful of time, just because I do have a call at 9 o'clock. But I would love for you to share another piece. If you would like to share, I don't know if you have an intro for this piece or you just want us to listen
Um,
to this piece and
th-
then talk about your poetry stuff.
yeah, this one is called Monster and Man, and it's kind of a sequel to Sincerely Yours. I actually wrote it the very next day. Um, so here it is. I was thinking about yesterday, how I told you to go away. It's been silent since that moment. The space in my head is dormant. No more torment. It's kind of been peaceful, but in a sense, I miss you. Truth is, I don't know what I want. Push, pull, taunt, be sarcastic, simply boombastic, or maybe just run, chase the sun. To get or not to get high, I sit here and sigh, just trying not to lie, while trying my hardest to be my best self. You see, I'm staying busy, but my thoughts are often dizzy. Sun comes up and goes down, face wears a smile and a frown. Just trying to climb and not fall down, but it's fucking hard. I feel alone, monotone, no longer living my life in stereo. Just trying to get by and express myself. Sometimes feeling high, sometimes low. Just trying to make it to the next episode. But see, you always been there. And even though you made things unclear, caused confusion, those interrupted thoughts were soothing. You may have been my fear, but I know your perception was sincere. You were always there to take control when I was scared. But I told you to go. I want to go with the flow. And I'm not scared anymore. That's why I showed you the door. See, I'm ready for a change. I have all these things to rearrange. I see things clearer these days. Just listen. Can you hear that silence? There's no more inner violence. See, you were my best friend. But have you really been? You were always caused me all this conflict. This negative inner dialogue made up of your own dialect. But like a wet log, you would cause me to sink. So I had to take all these situations and rethink. There can only be one of us, you see. There's not enough room in this head for a monster and a man. Peace.
John Michael, you are a shadow worker.
Yes, ma'am.
I love this. I love it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that so much.
Are you going to be writing a book?
I am. I actually started to put something together. I'm hoping to put out my first book this fall or this winter. Um,
I want, let me know. I want a signed copy. I have to get one of your books. I absolutely need it.
oh, you will definitely get one, my friend, without a doubt. Um, I don't know. You got time for? I can
Oh
bust out a.
yeah. Oh yeah, we got
Okay.
some time. The universe is conspiring in our favor with time. We're good.
All right. Here's one that I actually just wrote this afternoon. Um, in the lost reality of sunset, when the days have come to a close, the night is getting darker. The time when shadows troll. For in the hours of the soul, the mind spins out of control. Hidden messages from deep within coming to surface once again. For if you choose to listen, unravel the riddle hidden, to free yourself, to lose such doubt, to become what you have always been. Um, that was a short one. Uh, Pretty
Mhm.
simple.
No, that one's great. It's to really dive deep into the riddles of life to discover oneself that's not an easy thing to do, and just to even put it in simplicity how you just did in that poem, even that can sound like a riddle itself to someone else and go over so many people's heads, even though you're saying it verbatimly straight out. Like, oh yes, thank you. That's amazing. So yeah, so that was this afternoon. Is that one complete, or you think you're gonna be adding on to that one at some point?
I think I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
But
I like
you
it.
never know. No poems are ever complete. I don't think. I always kind of go back to them and play with them. Um, here's one
That
that
one sound
I
complete
wrote.
in my heart. Yeah, go ahead.
I wrote this one the other morning. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and just wrote this down. Went right back to bed. Um, Woken up by thoughts of you. The words you said had stuck like glue, running through my head, a different view instead, and here I am invaded by you. Wishing wistful thoughts of two, can't escape the things I do. Spinning thoughts, they spin, another dance, my friend. What am I supposed to do? If I could go back to the day, would I have the words to say? Letters slipped
Mm.
away, words in mind, but nothing to say. Letting go just won't go away. Letting go's the hardest, they say. Fear of what's become paralyzing my tongue, and these thoughts just won't go away. Um,
Mm. Mm. Oh my gosh. Your your poems really do allow people to process. Like, you can write a book, you can do a journal, you do so much healing
hmm
in that. Hmm.
You
And
learn
like the
so it's like yeah, I learned so much about myself by what comes out. It's like my soul is telling me what I need to hear, and
hmm
it allows other people to receive a message as well. So it really is a blessing, and I'm blessed to have been able to be able to do such a thing like this. Um, like I said, I dropped out of school in eighth grade. I English was my worst class. I don't know.
and
I
look
just
at you
started writing.
intricately expressing yourself like what, but I mean that the way that you express yourself, that's beyond the indoctrination of grades in school. How
hmm
they you know Oh man, I'm just so grateful to even share this space. I definitely look forward to having you coming on live more. I know next time we'll have a little bit more time. Y'all, so this is
Yeah,
just a little bit of a sneak peek. Please, please, please follow him, support his artwork, support his
thank you.
craft. I mean, I'm just in so much awe and gratitude that he even agreed to come on live. This was impromptu. I didn't plan it, but Source just I was actually walking down the trail in the woods, and it just felt so cold. I said I need to have him on. This was it this morning? I think this morning or this afternoon.
Yeah,
This morning, and I was just like, I need to have him live. Like, if he can come on live today, this will be perfect. It just felt so divinely aligned and in tune with the collective energies that's coming on here. And so, with your permission, am I allowed to share this on YouTube as well? Because I really do feel like
yeah.
the more of the people that hear your artwork, you're like, this is really going to help a lot of people do some healing work. You started off talking about me being a subconscious guide of yours with the astrology. I'm like, you are a healer, a guide with your poetry in itself. So
Thank you. Thank you.
We will plan a further date, y'all. I mean, I'm asking you out loud. I'm assuming you are ready to agree and that it's already done.
Oh,
But we'll
absolutely,
have part two.
absolutely. I had so much fun the first time we met, which was randomly. You went live randomly. We had never even known each other or weren't even connected at all, and we ended up having, I think, a
Oh,
2-hour conversation one night and
it was such
slamming
a
all kinds of
healing.
poetry out.
My heart
Mm-hmm.
ripped open, and I was just in so much there was so many transmissions that was going through, so I'm just so grateful. And any other final words you would like to leave people with, like how to reach out to you, or like anything that you just want to share?
Well, you can reach me on Instagram or Threads at John underscore Michael underscore poetry. And I'm also on Facebook, John Michael Poetry. I'm on TikTok as well, John Michael Poetry, although I don't really post much there. I need to start doing that. But, the biggest thing I got to say is, if all you can do is just breathe, then just breathe. Just keep breathing. I'm proud of you for doing that, at least. Everybody goes through hard times. I have been there. I feel your pain, and I love you if nobody else has told you that today. Some days, that's all we can do is breathe. Some days it's a struggle to get out of bed, and it's okay. I mean, it's okay to lay in bed. Take that time, get your rest. It's called self-love. Whether people understand it or not, it's not their point. It's not their position to understand it. You understand you. Listen to your intuition and just try to be the best person you can, even when times get hard. And, hey, anybody can reach out to me anytime. I'm available anytime to talk or message back and forth. Sometimes we need, sometimes we need an ear, and sometimes we need somebody to help us process our thoughts. Um, it helps. So just keep on going, keep on breathing, keep on living this life, and it really is beautiful, even in the darkness of it all. We're all just children of the dark on the edge of light. So keep going.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
for
much.
having me
Thank you
on.
for
I appreciate
breathing.
this.
Thank you for existing. Yes. Thank you, everyone who tapped in. And yes, thank you for breathing, for existing, everyone who is in this space, catching the replay, the live. And 100%, sometimes it does, feel extremely difficult to just breathe and exist. And don't give up. We're all rooting for you. We all believe in you. Like, you are important. And just as much as, with him, if you reach out to him, reach out to me. If you ever feel like, yeah, you just need somebody to listen to, feel free. I always tell people, say, hey, listen, I just need somebody to listen to me. I don't even want feedback. If you don't want feedback,
All right.
sometimes a person doesn't even want feedback. Some people
Yeah,
don't want advice. Some people just want to be heard. And
absolutely.
and then also, like, knowing that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to say there's a moment where woe is me and there's a moment where woe is not me. And allowing, that's part of life. We get caught up on the woe is me, and I think those are like the demons, that, or the thought forms, right? So we don't have to call them demons, right? The parts of us that is the best friend that we want to kick out and tell you goodbye, you're doing too much. But that longing, that missing, I resonate with your poem so much, because I was like, I remember telling you, get the F out, to myself, or to a thought form. And then just really, like, feeling that sense of void, and like, oh my gosh, like I miss you and that's like the comfort and the traumas and stuff, but then navigating through that. So we can go on, and I don't have much time. I'm actually over time. I thank you though, everyone. I will be sharing this. Just bear with me. And John Michael, I will be in touch with you. I thank you so much for
Thank
tapping
you.
in. I send you an abundance of love, life, and all the goodness in the world. Everyone, y'all have a
Okay.
good night. Peace.
Thank you, my friend. Love you.
Loving you.